hate the Nicolaitans. Those are strong words. Why does he hate the Nicolaitans? The Nicolaitans is Nicolaiety, it's overthrow the laity. Laodicea is the laity overthrowing the covenant. Nicolaitan and Laodicea are both derived from the same Greek word. One is overthrow of the people, the other is the people overthrowing government. And I meant to tell you that, but that was the swing in the Protestant Reformation. You have priesthood overthrow the laity, the Nicolaitans. We dominate the laity, the people. The clergy dominates the laity. We dominate you and you overthrow. You come to us. You don't have it on your own, right? And that is the Nicolaitans, and God hates that because, especially if you think why he sent it to the Ephesian church. Read the book of Ephesians. Fivefold ministry, the function of the body, the priesthood of the believer. It's in Ephesians, so of course they would get that. That's why they hated that kind of thinking, the Nicolaitans. So overthrow laity was not a part of the thinking. But then all of a sudden we move into Laodicea, and we have the laity overthrowing the clergy, casting off restraint, cutting and breaking covenant. That is the whole. You don't have a priesthood. The priesthood has been robbed from the individual and brought to a select few people, and they dominate and crush the laity. Pre-Protestant Reformation, Rome, and then Martin Luther gets a revelation. The priesthood of the individual, the believer, or the collective, it's all of us. You know, and he, on the forefront, the Reformation burst forth on the scene, which I thank God for. And all of a sudden, now we have, where have we gone from that? To Laodicea. Now the laity is cast off covenant and has abandoned the clergy. So now we have people that don't go to church because they go to church. And all this secret relation with Jesus every day in church, which tells me they don't really know Jesus the way they should. Because if you love Jesus, you love what he loves, and he loves the church. Right? He's coming back from the church. You know. So that was just a side. I don't want to get that out. I was thinking about that. So look with me next. Henceforth, the whole Revelation, we have this ladder. Next 4 bullet points. Abraham and his blessing. Now, I won't read that in Exodus, but if you keep reading all the way down, get into the 10 Commandments. God, give it the word. I will say this, though. God shows up miraculously on a mountain. Quakes it, lightning, thunderings, trumpets, God speaking. He wants their attention. He tells them to draw near. They can't draw near. I want to say this too, so just bear with me as I wrap. That's where I'm going tonight. We are not, you hear me say this, we are not saved by our obedience. We are obedient because we're saved. Israel could not save themselves. This is the whole plan of redemption in Exodus. Israel couldn't save themselves. They were slaves under a heavy, merciless-handed Pharaoh who was like Satan. He was the great tyrant. He was adding the workload on them. No matter what they did, they were never able to escape it. They were crying out for mercy. God heard their prayers, but they couldn't save themselves. And even a man named Moses, who tried to come in his own strength, failed. And ended up committing sin and murder and has to run off. So Israel can't save themselves. God calls a man, anoints him in a burning bush and says, go, and I'm going with you, go. Tell him I am. The self-existent one has come. I need no explanation. Here's something about that too. God doesn't reveal himself until Exodus 33, I believe it is, as Jehovah. First time God reveals himself as Jehovah. Abraham prophetically said Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide. But God never told him what he was. Never, there was a prophetic utterance, and it was only from Abraham in that instant, and never to hear it again until we move into Exodus. God only says, I am to Israel. All you need to know about me right now is I am. I'm self-eternally existent. I'm everything you need. I'm self-sufficient. self-sufficient. You're not. You need me. Moses, go. And we know that Moses went then in the power of the Spirit. We know what happened. God miraculously saves them. The Passover, he enacts a covenant, brings them to the Red Sea, which is the type of baptism. They come into the wilderness, and then God gives them the command. Now I'm saying this to obey. They couldn't obey or receive this on the other side of the Red Sea. God couldn't send Moses into Egypt and give them the Ten Commandments. They couldn't obey him. They didn't know him. They weren't delivered. And no one can keep the law without love. So love fulfills the law. God had to show them his love. He gathers them from Egypt, delivers them to the Red Sea, brings them to the mountain, then gives the obedience, the command to obedience. And it's the same way. Now that's type and shadow. We know that they couldn't keep it. That's why Christ still had to come. Because if they could, there would be no need for Jesus. So it's still prototype, type, and shadow. But the picture is this. We can't keep the law. We are not justified by our works. We're in sin, under Pharaoh, in slavery, in bondage, crying out. God sends Jesus, and he comes and rescues us. And he uses a mouthpiece, a preacher. It's Aaron. He comes and he preaches the gospel. We hear it and we respond by faith. And God miraculously brings us through the Passover across the Red Sea to himself. And it's once we have an encounter with God himself on a mountain that then he begins to come down and ask us for our obedience. Because it's only then can we then respond out of love in obedience. Not out of obligation, but out of delight. Not out of duty, but out of delight. That's how we serve Jesus. Amen? So Moses then hears from God, speaks. I want to say this too. Israel at the foot of the mountain, when you read Exodus 19, there's a terrible tension going on. A terrible tension is happening. Touch the mountain, you will die. But he's telling them to come. You ever read that and wonder what's going on? Come to the mountain. Don't touch it. If you do, you're dead. Don't even let your livestock get near it. And then he says, and then they're scared to death and they don't know what to do. So they're saying, Moses, you go. And God's saying, no, I'm only saying this to test them. Bring them on. No, they can't come. They're not coming. They don't go. Moses, you go first. And they couldn't. They would have died. Moses, or God himself had to cloak his majesty in a dark, thick cloud of darkness. We wonder why he shows up in darkness. Why didn't he come forth in radiant light? He shows up in darkness. He does it so he doesn't incinerate everyone. He needs thick clouds of darkness to hide and to shield his glory. And it's not even his full manifestation of glory. It's just a little deposit on top of a mountain. And they can't see it. And they can't respond. So Moses goes. So, you know what it's like? This is how I liken it. God is like a father. He sees his children. They've just been born. They just have come into this. They've passed through the water of the womb. They've passed through the Red Sea. And they're born, but they're sick. So they're in an incubator. They're shielded. And it's not because the father on the outside is sick. He's protecting them on the inside of the incubator.